Hey guys, it's Arlen of Awakens Fonda. I am a sound healer, I am an alchemist, and I am an Ascension coach. And what I do is help people raise their frequency to in turn expand their consciousness. Um, and today I'm coming on because I wanted to talk a little bit about the energies I've been picking up on in my own experience. And as being a light worker, when I'm experiencing these things, I know the collective is too as a whole. And lately, because of where the cosmos are and what's going on with Pluto going direct, it's caused a lot of real deep reflection energy. So, and in my experience, it's felt a lot like a death energy. And when I say death, I mean like it is a real heavy, deep, introspective feeling. But with death, we always know comes a transformation. And I've come to know and identify that when this is happening, as heavy as it can feel, or whatever's going on internally, I know that ultimately it's because there's this other layer that's about to be integrated, and it's something for me to look at. And so, with that said, I wanted to express this to you guys, so maybe it might help you in what you're experiencing, because sometimes you can be experiencing things, feeling things, and not understanding what to do with it or what's happening. But due to what the cosmos are doing right now, or what they're moving in, all this moves through us as well, as within, so without, as above, so below. All of this goes together. So I just wanted to touch on this because, like I said, for myself, um, the heavier energies. I really sense lately I'm finding myself wanting to move inside a little bit, and kind of hermetizing again, and I go through these processes a lot, and it's where I just have to really just focus within, focus on me. What's going on here? What do I need to look at? What's this deep energy? This sometimes it's a lot of times it can be a deep wound, that needs to be looked at a little further. And right now, like I said, Pluto direct is really bringing this up for all of us, and it's to release it. It's to integrate it, to move through it, and that means having to look at it. And so, like I said, it's okay right now if you want to go within. If you need some time alone, right now is the time to do that. To take that time to stay at home, to maybe reflect, to maybe do some meditation, to take some time to breathe, um, to focus on your energetics. What do you want around you right now? Is there anything you need to get rid of, in your experience, in your life? And I'm just talking in your general area. Like, maybe there's things that need to be let go of. Or maybe they're objects. Maybe they're old things that are tied to other things, then it's time to release those. Let go of them. We have a new full moon coming up, so it's a perfect time for that. Um, But things that could help, like I said, breathing. If you got a sound bath to go check out a sound bath. It's a perfect way to get an energy overhaul, to really get in tune with your vibratory energetics, to get in tune with yourself. And that means your energy. Sound baths will bring an awareness of your energy. That's what I do. So for me, I'm definitely promoting that. Whether it's with me or if you're wherever you are out there, find somebody around you, preferably somebody who really is an initiated sound healer that really knows how to direct the energies, because that's going to be of a major benefit for you. Um, Also, breathing. Um, Take time, take some deep breaths, even if it's like the 4-7-8, meaning like inhaling for 4 breaths, holding the top for 7, and releasing for 8. That's an old yogic breath method, I guess you could call it. But it'll help slow you down and calm you down real quick. If there's any anxieties that come up, any fears that get stirred up, because that's what happens a lot of the time when we're digging deep or going a little deeper, because it's going to challenge us to step out in our own empowerment. And so anyway, That's that. Another thing you can do that I highly recommend, I've been doing this again lately, and I haven't done it in quite some time, but affirmations. And I mean, like, yes, of course, writing your affirmations down, speaking your affirmations, in your meditations or before your meditations, however it suits you and works for you. But speaking it out loud is very, very beneficial, I have found. But another method that is really, really key, and this is something you can do on your own. You don't need anybody else to do this for you, and you don't really want anybody else to do this for you. What you can do is record yourself, and with our technology these days, our phones, we can easily do this. You can find an app, or maybe your phone just will do it for a long period of time, but record yourself reciting your affirmations. So it requires you actually writing affirmations out. And every individual may be different because we're all experiencing different things at different times in our journeys. All of our journeys are a little different. We're not all experiencing the exact same thing in the exact same moment. However, with the different variations, we're still collectively going through the same ascension process with the planets, if that makes sense. You got to think in layers. When you think ascension, this is why we expand our consciousness, because if we stay in the lower frequency and the lower vibe, we cannot possibly wrap our brains around just how expansive, just how circular everything really is. It's not this linear, flat, timeline of things. There's so much more to it. So you have to be able to think in layers. Okay, with that said, we're going back to affirmations. Affirmations. So what we're going to do is write your affirmations down, and then you record yourself speaking your affirmations. Now, you're going to be speaking your affirmations to yourself. So you want to use a nice tone, nothing aggressive, very calm, very slow. Speak your affirmations on this recorded device, on your phone or whatever you got. Some people have all kinds of different things nowadays. Whatever you got, record yourself speaking your affirmations. And then either you can do this before you go to bed at night. You can play this for yourself. So as you're falling asleep and you're passing through that theta state, because we only pass through theta twice in a day, and literally unless we're inducing that, like going to a sound bath or listening to some music that's going to help you get or meditation, just meditation in general. Music can help you get there a lot quicker though. However, so as you're passing through this theta state, it's before you go to sleep and it's as you're waking up. So when you're going to sleep, or if you're going to maybe do a little meditation, you can sit and do a meditation with this. You can lie back and, excuse me, you can lie back and then play your recording. Lie back in meditative mode, take some deep breaths. Sometimes I just like to demonstrate. I don't know why. I do this when I speak to people sometimes, and obviously I'm doing it now. But anyway, you want to calm yourself, get yourself into that meditative mode, play the recording, lie back, because as you drift into that theta state, what that does is helps you to subconsciously absorb the affirmations. So it doesn't need to be played loud. It doesn't need to be done repeatedly. There doesn't need to be any force to it at all. It's very simple. You don't even have to be this left side of your brain, the logical brain, doesn't even need to be focused. It doesn't need to be focused on exactly what's being said. What you need to do is calm and drop down into that calm state, that nothing state, and just let the recording play. Okay? This is going to help reprogram you and reprogram your mind and your conscious thinking. It's going to bring these things to your consciousness, these affirmations, right? It works. I do this. I've been doing this for 1.5 years now, and I notice every time I really get into it with like particular, I'll do it for different things in my life that I want to bring about at that time. And I'm telling you, it works. It works like literal, it's instant manifestations, and it's such a good positive vibration, and it's going to lift your frequency. And like I said, there's no force to it. You start forcing it, you're going to repel, you're going to do the opposite. It's going to be out of alignment. because you're creating a resistance. Even though you think you're doing what's best, you can't force it. Just let it be. Let it be. Just absorb. Just let it absorb. Okay? Which brings me to another reason why we do this in particular, and it has a lot to do with what we are infiltrated with on a regular basis. We are every single day, breathing moment in this world we live in, the society we live in, the culture we live in. Some places are worse than others. But there's this matrix mentality. There's this we're being programmed every second of the day, right? So there's things we can do to divert a lot of these things, right? The thing is, we have to take control of our minds. That's mainly the gist of what I'm talking about when I'm getting into the reprogramming and deprogramming. Anyway, taking control back of your mind. This is something you're going to want to do while you're in this period, this phase, all the time, really. But right now is a great time to be doing that as well. As you separate yourself, if you kind of put yourself in that hermetized mode where you can really go within and get that enlightenment that you need to enlighten you to the next stage, the next place, the next phase, where are you going? Where's your soul leading you towards? Where is this journey taking you right now? What needs to be healed in this moment? And when I say healed, I mean integrated. I mean brought in, looked at, and then integrated in. We have all these soul aspects that have been lost from us. And what keeps us from them is this programming that I'm talking about. And so it's very important when you do this that you remove yourself from media. Remove yourself from social medias. I mean, if you got to do it for work, like I would definitely have to, I use it for my work all the time. But what I do is I just don't look at all the other stuff. You know, I post my stuff that I need to for my work. And if I want to put a good message out there or something like that, then that's what I do. But I don't go around looking at everything and whatever, getting in it, seeing what's going on with everybody and all that business. Eliminate that. Eliminate turning on any TV to look at media to see what's going on. Eliminate the TV, the media, the news. It's all inducing fear, doubt, worry, lack. It's just there to ruin your mind and control your mind. Control your mind is the key. If you're not controlling your mind, somebody else is. Get it? This is the secret we've all been, it's funny, somebody asked me not long ago, recently, and then today I actually responded to it, but a friend of mine said, "What is your secret? You're just like crushing it, man." Like, and it's so cool, and I hope she even sees this, but just because it's funny, but the secret, I was like, what is the secret? I mean, the secret is your inner work. The secret is you. This is what I teach people all the time. The secret resides in us. And this is somebody, I'm speaking from my experience. I'm speaking from what my entire life, searching out and seeking. I mean, I've sought through religions. I've studied occult. I've studied all kinds of things in my life, spiritually speaking, searching for this answer, this like holy grail, right? Only to find it resides right here in me. It resides in all of us. And really, it's up in this pineal gland. The Ark of the Covenant right there. That is the Holy Grail. You are the Holy Grail. So, with that said, the secret is your inner work. And by doing your inner work, you're going to realize you cannot be mind programmed by other outside entities and forces. That's only to keep you watered down, dumbed down to where you're just enslaved, and you're operating out of fears and doubts and worries and lack and guilt, right? Oh my God. I mean, even the program of what a man is and a woman is so programmed. The truth is, it's really a more androgynous aspect of both of the being of us. And androgynous has something to do with sex. See, we've sexualized everything in our culture, and that is in turn a mind control. That's a control from an outside darker entity. And I'm not going to get into all that right now, but what I want to say is I mean, either you're going to allow yourself to be infiltrated, or you're going to take your power back. And we can do that by what we allow into our domain. What are we allowing into our system? If we were computers, and our bodies do operate just like a computer system. Really, it's like a big game. And, you know, what we project is what we're going to receive. That's what's going to be there. That's, you know, slow down here. So what you want to do is be in control of what you're watching. What are you putting in your system? So like if you are doing things like coming home from work, and if you see this, and if you're coming home from work, turn your TV on immediately. If that's what you do to relax at night, turn your TV on or watch a movie, or you know, jump right on your phone. Maybe you're sitting on your phone all day, all evening. We all hear these things, but are we actually listening to them? Are we actually going to take our power back? Like turn these entities off in our life. If you're on your soul journey and you're hearing this and the right, if you're watching this, you're ready to hear it. You're never led where you're not supposed to be. There's always a reason you're witnessing something, right? Or where you're led to something. It's of value for whatever reason. But and my God, if you're sleeping with your TV on, or you're sleeping to movies, or if you're doing, you know, I know really depressed people do this a lot. I've even done it myself when I was in depressive modes in life. You know, and I would sit there and just like watch lots of fucking TV, and not even TV, it was never TV, it was more like Netflix series or things like that, because I just wanted to kind of turn everything off, right? And I still do that. Like if I want to turn off and I just want to kind of escape for a minute, then I'll like watch a Netflix movie or something like that, which is really rare anyway, but it's a thought, right? Or a thought to go to a movie, you know, hopefully a good movie. I like to pick movies that at least like have some sort of like good basis behind it. I don't go watch garbage movies, and my God, I have seen some garbage crap lately that I know is out there. I've got Jennifer Lopez and her, I don't even know what that was, a stripper movie, supposed to be empowering to women. Horseshit. If anything is giving you just enough of that empowerment to keep you locked down. Because that is not true empowerment as a woman. A divine feminine doesn't act like that. You know, and I haven't even seen the movie, but I know how Hollywood goes, and I could see the intro thing and know exactly where that's going. It's all misleading. You know, the industry's so misleading in so many ways, and you got to look at these things with discernment. You know, I mean, it's like a half truth you're always getting. You know, you get half of it, but they won't give you the full amount because they gave you the full amount of truth. My God, you might be empowered, and you wouldn't need them to control you anymore. That's the reality. Music industry's all about it. You know, fucking Hollywood, all about it. They're all up in it, man. It's money, it's business. That's another thing. When you're watching media, you have to remember this is all a business. It's all a business. Every last bit of it. It's all, who produces what you're going to see is the people pay for that. They pay for what they want you to see, right? It's controlled by money, the almighty dollar. It has nothing to do with you being healed or better, or having power in your life, or having equality amidst humanity. It's not what you're getting. You're getting half truths, half baked bullshit. You know, and a lot of people are drinking the Kool-Aid. A lot of people, and people who claim to be spiritual, drinking the Kool-Aid. You know, it's all half truth. It's watered down. It's not quite right. You know, that's why you have to use your discernment. That's why you have to take this time, like this time in general I'm talking about. When these kind of energies are showing up, you need to sit back, take a breather, and go within. And breathe and meditate. Do your affirmations. Step away from the media, and I mean all forms of media. Stop worrying about if it's career, if you're worried about what you got to do in your business, what you got to do if you're a real driven person. You got to sometimes you just need to step away for a minute. You know, you're not going to get anywhere you want to go by pushing it, by forcing it. Sometimes you got to sit back and just allow spirit to work. And when you do that, you become empowered, and you can bring your frequency back up, and you begin to manifest like that. If you don't believe me, watch my life. Because I'm telling you, my life has dramatically changed in the past couple years, and it's only going to get better, right? I know this. Um, and if you know me, you know. You're watching, you're seeing it. You know? It's all about raising your frequency. That's what I help people do, because I know the power therein. Now it takes work to do that. It takes a choice to want to do that. And people who are on their soul journey and they know they're ready. They're ready. That's when it's going to happen. This is not a forced anything, especially with everything I do with sound, all that. A journey in general, anybody's soul journey. You don't force anything. You know, that's not the way it happens. It happens when it falls in alignment. Everything begins to come into accordance. Divine intervention will get you there. I mean, God knows I had massive divine interventions throughout my process. I had massive energy movements, and we call that Kundalini, right? That's what I do, is help people get to that place. I create the space, and then I let you go. Because you have to be your own guide, and you're capable of that. We're not taught we're capable of things. We're taught that we're taught to be disconnected from our bodies, from our minds, from our hearts, from source, from the creator. We're taught that we don't know, we're not capable, to be scared of ourselves, to be scared of what we're feeling, our intuition. We're built and born with these giftings. Like, I see all this stuff all the time. People going to do mediumships, or people going to learn Reiki and all this stuff. And that's beautiful. That's wonderful. It's amazing. The more people that want to get into these, really want to tap into their gifts, really, is what they're seeking, right? But the fact of the matter is, every single last one of us on this planet is an energy worker. Why? Because we're all energy. We're all energy. That's what we are. Everything, living, non-living, breathing, not breathing, it's all energy. It's quantum physics. And we're learning this more and more. People are awakening to it more and more, understanding the reality that basically we've been fucking lied to. Flat out. It's horseshit. We are so much more than we're told, right? But and things have been kept from us, and we're remembering who we are every day. We're waking up to it every day. But we have to be willing to change our perception, because changing our perception is what's going to change our reality, and going to change the reality of humanity. Which means we have to start thinking outside of the box, and that means constantly. This is something we're gonna have to do constantly. I'm finding myself having to do it constantly, you know. And when you start doing it, you're really going to see some things differently. All those things that matter before, all these things, even, you know, the stories of our past, even like what we grew up in and why we are the way we are. You know, we've had all these, we've just laid it all out like it's this psychological, cognitive thing. It's so much more. And we're multidimensional beings. I mean, we dream, right? We've dreamed since we were kids. We've had dreams, and then we've just brushed them aside like, I guess that's just a dream. Must have ate like a pizza last night, and that's why I had that crazy dream. Well, no. No. What we're waking up to is that we are so much more, like I said. And there are different dimensions that our souls exist in. And coming into conscious contact with that will allow us to consciously walk through this 3D reality, right? With more power, more understanding. We'll understand that we're not just this body, we're not just this lifetime, we're not just this experience. We are all that and more, from past to future, all of it, and then round and about, all in between. You know, more or less now, it's like I operate out of, like, because I am well connected with my oversoul. So it's like Arlen isn't even Arlen anymore. Arlen, I from my outside source, I direct Arlen. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense. And so some of y'all will, some of y'all maybe not quite get that yet or understand it yet, but I can operate out of a 3-part system. So there's just nothing holding me back anymore. I got nothing to lose by doing anything anymore. Just limitations are gone. So this is what happens when you do your work. And it can happen for you. And that's what I encourage you to do right now as you're going through any of this energy. If you're feeling any heaviness, if you're feeling any of that death energy, if you're feeling like you're feeling these deep wounds, maybe it's something's really triggered you lately, or maybe you don't even know where it's coming from, but you got to sit with it to get to it. And this isn't for any negative reason. These feelings aren't for any, all they're there to do is to help you identify something. It doesn't mean they're bad or good. It means this is awesome. Actually, it is awesome because you get to go in, do this work, and you're going to fucking come out on the other side like with a whole new layer integrated. So this is great. It's amazing. And I just want to encourage you in your walk, in your journey. And let's see if we got anything else here that I have not touched on. Yeah, I really encourage you more than anything, because very few people actually do this when I tell them that this was something they should do, is to record your affirmations and then lie back. I mean, fall asleep to it or just take a nap or whatever, like wherever you're just going to come to a complete relaxed state and just play it. Not forced, not anything like that. Just let it play. And you breathe, go within, calm your mind. We're going to reprogram ourselves, right? We live in a society that tells us what we should be like, what we should look like, what we should do as women, as men, as everything. I mean, and it doesn't matter what side of the fence, if it's being a strong woman or being a homely woman. I don't know. I mean, religion teaches, I guess, the more homely version, the oppressed woman, anyway. Whatever. We gotta stop going with what we're told we should be. Men. Oh, you men out there. You know, there's a lot that's going on with divine masculines, and they're breaking free. The women are the feminine energies are definitely leading this. But the masculines, it's all about, because you need to embrace your feminine. We've been so programmed over eons how to be as men and as women. There are more men than ever these days that, and now we're in a time right now that they're breaking free from these things. But the old story of feeling like you got to be the protector, you got to be all these things, but you're completely disconnected from your feminine. That's an old paradigm, and it's dead, and that's not where we're going. And you got to get yourself out of that by stop watching. Be careful where you're getting any advice from, first of all. And please, for the love of God, the church is probably the worst place to get any advice. But program just from TV, it's always like, how's a man supposed to be? How's a woman supposed to be? Stop watching these movies and these stories. Stop it. And then you got these really wonderful men they're with these really not so wonderful women types. They're very controlling, very wicked, manipulative, not well. And then men will sit in that. If you're not well and you're not doing your work, you're going to sit in that because you feel guilty, like you've done something wrong. It's just an old program, okay? And you don't just relive yours. You're reliving like your father, your grandfather, all your ancestors. I mean, you gotta look at the whole, okay? But when you get well, then you can be in a relationship. You can't we've lived in this. Everything's about relationships and these love stories, right? And these love stories are the same regurgitated bullshit stories, and. Do you see them successfully working? Because I sure don't. I see a lot of people in really unhappy relationships. Miserable, absolutely miserable. And then the church is even worse, or any religions that confine men and women to these unions, these contracts, so to speak, because they're married, that they have to stay in it because they chose to do that at some point in their life. When maybe they have their soul contract's up, they have nothing in common, nothing's working, they don't love each other, they don't even know how to love themselves, but they're continuing in these bullshit relationships. The kids are suffering, if there's children involved, and they suffer for that, and you know what, they have to go into their next cycle of life carrying that, and then they got to break that curse. So you can do this for your children and for the children's children, or you could just let it go, and you could just not do your work and let your children do your work for you, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to continue the cycle over and over and over and over until you stop listening to the bullshit. We all ultimately know inside what love really is and what it is to really love yourself. People talk about loving themselves. People write songs that are popular on MTV and all the, I'm not even going to name names on this shit, but everybody wants to talk about, oh, I love myself. No, you don't. I can look at you right now. Your energy says, there's nothing I read about these people says they love themselves. I mean, come on. If you really know what loving yourself is, nothing to do with what's going on the outside. It's nothing to do with a sassy attitude. It has nothing to do with, it's just bullshit. It's dark, it's twisted. Like I said, it's one of those things. It's just enough to keep you mind fucked, right? Men, I just encourage you to start embracing your feminine side, your more artistic side. Maybe you've been told your whole life you can't do that. Maybe you've been told your whole life you gotta work, provide, make the money, do that, whatever. But you're miserable. You're not happy. You don't feel love. You never will, because you're imbalanced. You need to have that unified, the unification inside of your masculine and feminine energies. It's not even right. It's not fair for you to live your life without embracing your feminine side. And when I say this, like I said, take the goddamn force-fed sexuality off the feminine and masculine when we say this. What we're talking about is two different parts of ourselves that create a whole. It's just like the right, left brain. It's just like the yin and the yang, okay? Dark, light, same thing. But if you're not embracing it, there's no way you can possibly embrace a woman on the outside. A woman, when we talk about love relation as bringing physically these units together, you're not going to be able to bring those two things together in true love. True love. True love, which has nothing to do with codependency, nothing to do with any codependent behaviors. Nothing. It's a freedom. It's free. You cannot have that. You cannot have that kind of union. A very, very high union. You can't have that without having the union within first. You won't be able to embrace your feminine if you can't embrace yourself. Feminines, you won't going to be able to embrace your masculine if you can't embrace the equal parts, the feminine and the masculine within yourself. And there's so much to be said on that. But that's what I'm here to teach. That's what I'm here to implicate in this lifetime. That I know. I'm a light worker. There are many light workers out there like myself. I'm not feeding myself the same things that a lot of people out there are. I've stepped away from that, and so definitely tuned in. And because of what I do, I'm that much more tuned in. I mean, working with sound and in the higher energies, and then with my my oversoul and my guidance. I know that I'm here to help. I'm just here to help. Period. This whole existence, awakened Sponda, all of that is not just about me. It's not about me. Yes, I'm the director of that here in this earthly plane because somebody has to do that. So yes, there's that, but as a whole, I'm here for humanity. I'm here to help you. Period. Period. So that's why I do what I do. And I love what I do. And I go where I'm directed. I go where I'm led. Um, you know, we're not made to work with everybody. Sometimes people, we're just in different places. And that's for a reason. Because it's all beautifully orchestrated the way it's intended. When we're tuned in, we follow that. We listen to that. And that's when things start moving and happening. That's where things start manifesting. Anyway, I think I'm going to end that there. I have a full moon sound bath. If you got this far and you're in Charleston, I have a full moon sound bath at Bar 3 on King Street on October 13th at 6 o'clock. My friend Joey Dorwart, I've known Joey since I don't even remember, God, since I was like 19 or 20. But him and some good friends of mine are in a band called Contraforce, one of the most amazing, eclectic, unique, authentic bands in Charleston. They travel and play a lot, but he'll be sitting in with the handpan and the tablas, and I think even his son might come and play some of the handpan throughout. But anyway, so if you'd like to harness some energies for the full moon, please join me. Please come out. That's what I'm here for. This is energy work. When you come to an awakened Sponda sound bath, be prepared because it is energy work. It's more. It's so much more than just playing music or anything like that. I'm really there for you with high intentions. So that's that. If you want to email me with any questions, it's awakenspond@gmail.com. And you can check out my website, www.awakensponda.com. I should have further workshops coming up. I also do sound immersions. It's called SEB. It's sound, energy, and breath. And these are sound journeys that, not sound journeys, excuse me. They're soul journeys that include sound, but all the elements. And that is for if you're really, really ready to make some changes and some shifts in your energetics. Then we can talk about doing those immersions together. So anyway, I'm here for you. As within, so without, as above, so below. Love is all that is. And my birthday's tomorrow, 40 years old. So send me some high vibes, man. I'm excited. All right, all the love. Bye.